Hi, boys and girls. It's the Garden Grandma here again to tell you another story from the Bible. This time we're going to tell the story of Cain and Abel. Cain was Adam and Eve's first son, and Abel was his brother. Now, Cain enjoyed working in the fields and tending the trees and the gardens, and Abel enjoyed working with the animals. They both did their jobs very well, but Cain was a little bit prideful, a little bit selfish, and he wasn't really close to God as he should be. But Abel loved the Lord. And one day they came to make their sacrifices before God for their sins. Back in those days, before Jesus died for us, people had to give sacrifices with animals because only the shedding of blood can cover sins. And so one day they both met in the place where the sacrifices are to be given. And Cain, because he was a farmer and worked in the fields, didn't want to go to the trouble of bringing an animal, so he brought some fruit. And it wasn't even his very best fruit. But his brother Abel came to the place of sacrifice, and he gave his best and fattest and most valuable lamb because he wanted to give his very best to God. And God looked down at the sacrifices, and he sent down lightning from heaven to consume the sacrifices. And the fire consumed, that means it burned up all of Abel's sacrifice. But the Lord didn't consume Cain's sacrifice. Cain got mad. Boy, he wasn't happy at all. He was mad because God liked what Abel did and not what Cain had done. So God spoke to Cain, and he asked him, he said, "Why are you angry?" He said, "If you had done the right thing, I would have been pleased with you and your sacrifice. Your brother did the right thing, and I was pleased with him. All you have to do is what you know is the right thing." Well, Cain got a very angry look on his face, and he was not happy. So a little while later, he was talking to his brother Abel in the field, and Abel had no clue what was about to happen to him. Now remember, these are the first two brothers in the whole wide world. And Cain was so mad at Abel because God liked Abel's gift better than Cain's. Cain killed his brother. He murdered his own brother. Well, a little while later, the Lord came to talk to Cain and Abel. And he saw Abel's sheep, but he didn't see Abel. Now remember, God knows everything. He already knew what had happened. He already saw what Cain had done. And he said to him, "Cain, where's your brother Abel?" And Cain said, "I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper?" In other words, he asked God, "Am I supposed to be in charge of my brother? Am I supposed to take care of him and know where he is?" That was not a very good attitude at all, was it? And God said, "Where is he, Cain? Because his blood is crying out from the earth." In other words, his blood had soaked into the earth, and the voice of his blood was crying out to God. Now, that kind of sounds funny when you hear that his blood cried out from the earth, but I've heard that story all of my life. And then I started hearing stories of something called forensic science, and that's where they can take just a drop of blood from somebody that has died, and they can use that and other means to discover who killed that person. And that's why it rang in my head that, oh my goodness, that means that person's blood is crying out from the earth to tell who their killer is. So even though this was the first murder in history, even today, people that are killed, their blood will cry out from the earth. God knows who did it, and eventually these people will pay for it. Well, what happened with Cain, God said, "Well, I'm going to put a curse on you, and you're going to have to wander throughout the land. You're not going to have a place to stay, and you're going to be unwelcome wherever you go." And Cain said, "Oh, God, I can't bear this. This is too much for me." And he said, everybody that sees me, people are going to want to kill me. I guess he should have thought of that before he killed his brother. But God said, "I will tell you what, Cain. If anybody hurts you, I'm going to do 7 times worse to them than what I do to you." So Cain went along his way, and things were rough for him for the rest of his life. And what we can take away from this story is we're supposed to love others. We're not supposed to be jealous if God blesses somebody more than he blesses us. And we need to check our heart and see when we do things for the Lord, are we really doing them for the right reason? Are we giving God our very best? Or are we doing just something, "Oh, here, God, you can have this," without really thinking about it? When we do something for the Lord, are we doing it because we truly love the Lord, or are we doing it just because we want other people to see us? Think about those things. Next time you want to do something for the Lord, think about, am I doing this the way God would have me do it? Is this pleasing the Lord? And think about, why am I doing this? Am I doing this to make God happy, or am I doing this to make other people happy? That's it for this story, boys and girls. We'll see you next time.